is an emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived.
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest, the best weekly Stardom podcast anywhere in the world. I'm as always Alex, and I am joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. I'm still laughing about the fact that you messed up on the countdown, which nobody's gonna hear. Yeah. Last tournament day, like last week. This is the last chancery right here.
Wow.
We have seen 20 days of this tournament. We're about to see the 21st, and that's when it ends. Get into it.
Have we seen 20, really?
Yeah. Or no, there's 20. Okay, we've seen 20, which is Sendai. 21st is going to be that show that we haven't seen yet with Kid
One
and
match.
Shuri. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 22nd day is going to be the final. So I misspoke.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Head on over to the 5starnetwork.co for all of the articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Dylan doesn't have anything to shill yet, although there is something in the works.
There's a few small things. There are a couple things in the works. One is Stardom related, but I haven't even started that, so I doubt I'll actually do it. And the other thing is No Limit. We recorded that yesterday. It was very, very fun. We talked about JD Star, which is a classic Joshi company that is not good, but it's also kind of good. It's just fun in certain ways. And we watched a very all-encompassing couple of episodes of their old TV show on Gaora. So Gaora, whatever.
Yeah.
Gaora, whatever. We watched a couple of their TV episodes, and yeah, that was me, Xavi, and our buddy Widescreen. So when that's out, go check that out. I don't know when it'll be out.
Whoa, you got widescreen on a show?
Yeah, finally.
Wow. Okay.
Finally. And
He's in the big leagues now.
It was great. It was great. I had a great time, and it was something that neither me nor Xavi would have ever watched otherwise. Because Widescreen's a little freak and buys like the most obscure, dead or dark age Joshi shows, and I love it, and it's super fun. And yeah, it was a great time. So go check that out when it's up. I don't know if it'll be up this week or next week, but it'll be up eventually. Check it out on the YouTube.
All right. Yeah, JD Star. It's very U-coded. Because didn't it it was founded and they were like, we want Bison Kimura as our ace, and that is just such a Dylan move. Then she got injured
Jaguar
and couldn't be
Yokota
their ace.
and Bison Kimura were like the big deals at first, and then they both went away within like 2 years, and the company is just different.
And Lioness Asuka as well, I think, was around.
Actually, it's funny. The show we watched is a little teaser. The show we watched was Lioness Asuka vacating one of the 2 top titles in the company because she just didn't want to be there no more.
That sounds very much like Lioness Asuka.
Yeah, because I checked, it wasn't like she was injured or she was taking time off. She wrestled the next day on Arjan, and I was like, yeah, yeah. And it was so somber the way she was talking. I was like, she's just dipping. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, it was a very fun time. Me and Widescreen actually showed Xavi, because he'd never seen it, the Emi Sakura suicide dive bump.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He'd never seen it, so we got a live reaction. He screamed. It was great. So yeah, go check that out when it's out. It was a really fun time.
Okay. All right. Well, on to the world of Stardom. We had an interesting announcement the other day. Moondom Begins was announced. This is a show taking place at the Post de Amistad on October 4th. Is that October? Yeah, maybe.
That's soon.
Yeah. There's 3 matches on the show: Saya Iida versus Atsuki Aoki, Waka Tsukiyama and Hanan versus Yuko Sakurai and Yuna Mizumori, and then Miyuki Tsukase and Amisore versus Maika and Haruka Umasaki. There's a reason you're hearing no excitement. This show is not airing anywhere. Waka has said as much on Twitter. Okay.
That's very unfortunate. And it also is kind of strange because it's like an English show. Like that's the point of it.
It is designed for like random tourists to show up to the Diana Dojo.
Yeah.
The dojo of pro wrestling Diana. That's what the post Diana stat is. It's their home. And to watch women's pro wrestling. And this is being advertised through mainly the wrestlers on social media, whose fan base is already pro wrestling fans. So you're
And
not
also
getting any new people here.
it's all in English, so $100 for a ticket to this?
Yeah.
Like I'd buy it because it's Iida and Itsuki Aoki. Those are two of my favorite wrestlers. But Jesus Christ, bro. Nobody should be going to this.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because I do like the matches a lot. Like I think
Dude,
that
Aoki
that
versus
tag
Iida
looks
is
great.
literally a
Itsuki
dream.
Iida is so absurdly good. I'm so upset that this is how Itsuki Aoki makes her Stardom debut. And she will probably never wrestle in Stardom again. It's just this, and I'm so upset about that because that looks so dope. Um, yeah, I mean, even the match with Amisore and Maika, that should be good. You know, like Yuka Takase opposite Maika is insane.
Mhm.
Amisore and Maika could probably do some good stuff. Haruka Umasaki is also there. Her and Miyuka Takase have good chemistry. So there's that. Like this, it's very upsetting because the show should be like good, but nobody should watch it because it's not going to be streamed anywhere. It's not going up anywhere, and it's $100 for a ticket. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a very strange thing. I cannot lie to you. And I feel bad for Waka, who is having her name attached to it. It is the Waka thing.
Mhm.
And it's just completely odd. So I don't know. They're not airing it. They probably won't upload it in post. We're probably just left suffering. So that's cool.
What did she say about it airing? Like, what did she like? Did she say specifically that it's not going to be taped?
Uh, I cannot remember now. It was something like this. You can only see this from the venue, basically.
Hmm, that sucks. Yeah, that definitely
Yeah.
sucks.
This is happening a lot lately because there's been a few shows that like nobody is taping, and I'm like, what is this? 2012? Like it is 2023. Get your shit together, people. So yeah. Anyway, outside of that, is there any other news announcements, or do we just go straight to the
I mean,
big one?
Utami.
Yeah, that's I want to
Oh,
see if
I
there's any
mean,
smaller.
Mariah May confirmed that the GP final is her last day. I,
Wow. Who
yeah.
could have thunk it? What? Are
Actually, I
you
don't think she even
serious?
confirmed it. I think Rossi did, and she's like, "Well, cat's
Yeah,
out of the bag. I guess we're doing this now."
yeah. They've been very unsubtle that she is finishing up on the 30th with her match against Hanan. Um, so
And
yeah.
allegedly, she told somebody in Stardom that she is just gonna hang out in England and do the Indies, the Brit Res Indies, and nothing else, because
Yeah,
that is where Mariah May.
it's
No, like
from.
no,
It's where
that's
she's
not gonna
from.
happen. It is where she's
She's.
from, but it's also she said on multiple occasions, outside of like seeing my family, why would I want to go back to the UK?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's like, I have friends, like I love my family, I miss my niece, but like, nah.
She's had like this amazing tour, and she's one of the best like women's prospect free agents or whatever you want to call it. And I still don't think any British promotion would be smart enough to use her. Like
Oh no.
the collective intelligence of British indies right now is at an all-time low. They would somehow never even reach out. It is absurd.
You
But
want Mariah May? You
anyway.
getting Matt Riddle. That's what's happening.
Oh, dude, Progress already has the t-shirts ready.
100%.
OTT has the posters with his name on it already. Like there is no doubt about it. That man is yeah, he's getting a
Them
run.
and Noah. Them and Noah. That's Matt Riddle's lane.
Hey, Noah has
Unfortunately.
free money now. Katsuhiko left, so they've got free money. Gotta book another kick guy, I guess.
Uh,
Anyway, the big news is that it was announced earlier today that Utami Hayashishita has been diagnosed with a a cervical hernia and will be absent for the foreseeable future. I mean, she is out of the match against Giulia. She is out of the Cork and Hall show this weekend, so we are now getting Azumi versus Mayu Iwatani as
Crazy good match.
Azumi's anniversary show. They haven't said anything about Tag League. I think their hope is that she might be back for Tag League because most people agree a cervical hernia is about 6 weeks, and she's had it since last Wednesday or Thursday. So I guess the hope is that she's back by Tag League, but there'll probably be another update closer to it just to see what
She might miss.
she's like.
They might change the schedule, or she might miss a match or two of Tag League.
Yeah.
They could always do what they did with Takumi that one year in the GP, where they basically like had her wrestle once and then gave her like a month and a half off because she had to do other stuff, and then she wrestled at the back end of it. I could see them doing that and just kind of like scooting the Lady C Utami matches to the back end so that Utami can come in. But I don't think she should.
Yeah.
Just give her a couple months off. Not that hard.
Yeah, just let her kind of heal. So Giulia goes to the Battle Royal on the pre-show, which is now a star-studded Battle Royal between her and Suzu being added.
Her Suzu, Megan,
Mei Sarah, Saki.
I'm sure. I imagine Tekla's in it.
Yeah.
It's a good looking tournament. Battle Royal.
That does change things for the final day because Giulia gets 2 extra points, which I think throws some stuff into a loop. I cannot honestly, the blocks confuse me entirely, but
it's not fun. The blue block is so not fun to look at.
Of course. But what we know is that Utami is out, Giulia gets the forfeit. The first time ever match is gonna have to get kicked down the road a little bit, which is probably for the best, given that Utami and Giulia were effectively eliminated anyway. So there was no real point in doing it on the final with no stakes.
It's the most stakeless match. Like it's less.
Yeah,
it has less stakes than like a special singles. Like they could have ran that like 2 months from now.
Because I believe Giulia can like tie with the top people, but I don't think she can beat them.
She can't win because she's lost to everybody except for Maika. So her win-loss is terrible.
Yeah. So I feel like unless she's throwing off the other tiebreakers, she was never going to be in the picture anyway. But we'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen the table, so I don't know.
No, Giulia can't win.
Okay. But yeah, that is that. It was just better to not do a first time ever match like that. When both are eliminated effectively. Especially in the Yokohama Budokan. I've said this since they announced this as the venue for the final. I mean, this thing was almost packed for the Triangle Derby opener. You're not going to get many more people there for the GP final, so like, what was the point, But I don't know. With that, I suppose just get on to the review section because we have some stuff to preview, obviously, which is what most people are here for.
Just a couple.
But yeah, we'll just jam through these shows to review because there was only 3 tournament matches given all of the injuries that took people out. The first show to review was on September 23rd. This was Starverse Presents 5-Star GP 2023, supported by SoftBank Sendai Tournament. This is in the Aztec Museum Sendai Industrial Exhibition Hall in front of 433 fans.
Far better arena than the pit. I'm begging every company that runs Sendai to not use the pit and use this one. Because just the vibe was so I mean Sendai's fine. Sendai Girls is fine. But like the vibe here was just so much better than any Sendai pit I've ever seen. So
yeah. That's fair. So the opening 2 matches kind of told a story. They were trying to go for something here. The opener was Ami Sourei beating Yuna Mizumori in 6 minutes with the Like a Thunder drop. And then the next match was Giulia beating Hanako in just under 7 minutes with the STF. So Giulia was out to sit at ringside to watch Ami Sourei's match. And then Ami Sourei was there on the outside for Giulia's match. And they got into a few interactions, like pulled at each other's hair. Ami slapped Giulia after her match with Hanako. I have never seen somebody get so thoroughly sunned in my life.
This is off topic,
Giulia smacked this
Really
woman
quick.
back to irrelevance. Like, I have never seen somebody look so out of place doing a feud with Giulia
Don't
as
worry,
Ami
she'll beat
Sourei.
Shuri.
And I hate
But
it.
no, one thing that I want to note is this is just an aesthetic thing. It's incredible how well Ami's like extend. Oh, you good? You Gucci? It's so incredible how like seamlessly Ami's extensions and stuff stay on because she just like takes them out sometimes and doesn't wrestle with them. And usually, like I don't know, I would expect that if you have extensions on and like you want them to like you wouldn't just go one day and be like, eh. Like I don't know, they are strong ass extensions because she wrestled this with short hair. That was my note. I didn't watch these matches, but hopefully Ami gets a good match with Julia. That's all
Yeah.
I can hope
I mean,
for.
she might, but I feel like this
Uh,
feud has
There's
completely exposed some of her weaknesses as a overall pro wrestler
I mean,
because
we didn't talk about the show last week, but Julia said, "No, you're dog shit. What's your record right now?" And Ami said, "My record ain't good." And Julia's like, "Exactly. Get out." And she's like,
yeah,
"Momo Coco challenged." And then Julia was like, "Damn, she did. Why did we let her do
yeah.
that? Why am I right? Why does this have to happen?" And then like that was the beginning of this feud. So Ami, it's not looking good for her.
No, it's not. Like the post-match interaction after Julia's match was so. Julia took the slaps and then just knocked her to the ground and kicked her in the head. And I was like, that is like she got sunned. Like I would never show my face again. Like that is so bad. So yeah, poor Ami is very out of place here. It just doesn't work. She's not a Julia aggressive type, and it really shows. You know, hopefully the match will be worth it. The match after that was Megan Bayne and May Sarah beating Koguma and Saya Iida. Megan got the win over Iida with the neck hanging bomb. We had a whole
Oh,
thing
that's
like
other
a week
news
ago.
we didn't bring up is the LLPW
Oh yeah,
match.
I knew there was something random that I had forgot. So yeah, Saya Iida is wrestling Giulia at the next LLPW-X show, which is Takako Inoue's anniversary show. It's an LLPW show. The card is what you would expect of LLPW. But this is obviously the make good
That's the
for Kandori.
21st of November. So that's a
Yes.
couple months away.
This is probably the make good for Kandori and in a way being on the Legends show because that's kind of how this stuff works.
Yeah, and I mean, like that sounds fun, and like I said, I think LPWX being a thing still is dope. I like that. So, especially with like one third of their roster retiring this year, and by one third I mean Mizuki Endo. Um,
Yeah, but they
yeah,
got Nori Date back, huh? Nori
is
Date.
it Date or Date?
I have no idea, man. It does not matter.
I mean, she's a MMA fighter, so I'm rocking with her. Uh, as long as she doesn't do faux kickboxing, I'm rocking with her.
That's fair. Yeah, Julia sensed a former Ice Ribbon wrestler and was on it. She was ready to go.
Velke was
Um,
upset. He
no,
was
because
angry.
you know what? Like we're tired. Okay, you do not need to do the ice lore with Nori Date. I'm sorry,
I
it just does
I
not have to happen.
I
Get a new thing,
disagree.
Julia. Get a new
I
thing.
I disagree because I think that the idea of somebody being like, "Oh yeah, I've wrestled you before, or I know who you are. Like, let's wrestle again." That is the most normal thing in professional wrestling history. Being like, "Oh yeah, we've trained together before. Let's wrestle. That'd be cool." Especially when you're going to do a special appearance for a company that they are just returning to. Like that makes total sense. What like why wouldn't you say that? It's like, "Oh, I know you. We should wrestle sometimes." She also said she should wrestle Kandori. So it's like like
Yeah, I mean
I
that
don't think
we
it's
we
that
can
big
we
of
can
a
allow that. We can allow that because that would be very fun. You know.
somebody's
Anyway.
losing.
Yes, yes, that is true. I cannot find it anymore. They did announce the main event of that LLPW show, and I remember just being like, "That is the
It was
most LLPW match ever." It's
it was
it's
awesome.
like
I don't remember what it was, but I liked whatever it was.
yeah, no, because it's like double in a way, and Aja and Kandori is there. Like the definition of a Legends show main event, but it was announced so long ago that I cannot find it anymore. Sadly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm looking around for it. I'm not really seeing anything.
Yeah, maybe if I search for the anniversary, that would help, but I don't think so. Nobody's here for this anyway. But oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay.
Battle.
So it's Takako Inoue, Kyoko Inoue, and Mio Momono versus Shinobu Kandori, Aja Kong, and Unagi Sayaka.
That's so cool. I don't know why Unagi's there, but that's dope.
To lose, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, like as I say, that is the most LLPW-X match ever. So you know what? Fair play to them. So anyway, Saya Iida, still a loser in Stardom. Stuff. The match after that.
She might dip because she's been wrestling outside of Stardom more than she's been wrestling in Stardom.
Had like 2 matches.
She has a Diana match this weekend. She has a Wave match this weekend. She has
Diana?
Yeah, she's in Diana this weekend.
Really?
I'm almost positive. Or she was on it
I thought
last
it was
weekend.
Amisore and
It might just be Amisore.
Yeah. I know she's wrestling Wave. It's Kohaku, but
Yeah. I don't know. I've just noticed that she's kind of their outsider right now.
see.
Their go-to outside girl.
Okay. Well, who knows? The match after that anyway was Hanan and Mayu Iwatani beating Mariah May and Waka Tsukiyama. Hanan the win over Waka with the backdrop driver, which is kind of interesting.
Teardrop backdrop driver too. She got
Oh wow,
underhook.
she killed her. The match after that was Saki Kashima, Mirai, and
There's a little
Syuri.
bit I want to say
Oh
about that
my
just very
goodness.
quickly.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
It was
So-
cute. Like, so Mariah May did the calls for her Waka, and then she did it for Hanan, and I was like, no, I'm not with y'all though. And she did it anyway, and Hanan did the pose, and they did the little graphic that she's for Club Venus, and it was very funny. And then Mayu's like, bro, why the fuck didn't you call my name? Like, Mayu was very upset that she didn't get called, and Mariah's just like, man, fuck you. And that was very funny. Um, like I said, I watched JD Star for No Limit, so Hanan's judo throws are so good in comparison to Yumioka's when she was a rookie. Because, like, I don't know, I have a newfound appreciation for Hanan's judo skills because Yumioka was so bad at incorporating judo into pro wrestling. So, shouts out to Hanan for that. Those are my 2 notes. Oh,
All right.
Mariah and Hanan also like hugged and were like, you know, oh, I love you before the match, and then afterwards they started pushing each other.
Of course. The match after that was Saki Kashima, Mirai, and Syuri beating Starlight Kid, Rocka, and Natsuko Tora. Mirai pinned Tora in just under 14 minutes with a lariat.
What? That's not Ruaka. She pinned Ruaka.
Yeah.
You said Tora.
Oh, whoops. Yeah,
I was so
pinned
confused. I
Rocka.
was like, she pinned the championship challenger?
Yeah. Anyway, this is where we get to kick in.
Yeah.
2 stars block. Maika and Mina Shirakawa went to a 15-minute time limit draw. Maika goes up to 10 points after that result, and Mina Shirakawa is on 9. I thought this was a great match, and it's one where if it happened earlier in the tournament, it would have definitely got a better reception. But by now, people have either stopped watching or are so numb to the Stardom that they just like barely register it.
Yeah.
This was great. Like from the moment Maika thunked her on the apron with that power with the suplex, I was like, yeah, we're in for a good one. This was kind of the first match of the tournament where I was like visibly upset that we didn't see this live because that like ending would have been crazy live.
Oh, yeah.
Like Ina with the figure 4 locked in, she'd worked over the leg for the entire match. Maika's tournament is on the line. Like, will she tap? Will she not? But obviously, knowing it went to a draw kind of took away some of that. But
That was both of these matches for me.
yeah,
Is that they were both such high stakes that, you know, when they happened, me and Scott were like refreshing our Twitter feeds over and over again to see who won. Like we were both like talking to each other while we were like we were like by the second trying to figure it out. So obviously it was spoiled immediately by myself. And yeah, this match was probably a bit better than the Maika Anu match, but because it happened later, it's like the same level, if not around. You know what I mean? But yeah, if it was live or if it was just an earlier match, definitely would have been like a super high up match. I will never not laugh at the fact that Mina loves locking in the figure 4 in time sensitive situations. It never works, Like, like she's done this like various times. I find it so funny. That's like, why are you, why are you working the leg right now? You need to be trying to kill her right now. And I always find that very funny. But yeah, this was like really good. Like one of probably my favorite Mina match of the tournament. I really liked it.
Oh, yeah, I would actually probably agree. It was definitely like just great from both of them. They're
I
very
also
natural.
liked. Good.
They're very natural in the ring together. Obviously, one is a power kind of technician, and the other is like a submission kicker. So they kind of collided really well. Where Maika was just trying to like murder Mina, and Mina was trying to like pick away at Maika with the leg kicks and the little kind of submissions and stuff like that. So I think they worked really well together in kind of a stylistic sense as well.
It was also an effortless 15 minutes. Like it did not feel its time at all. I was like at one point early on, I was like, oh, I wonder how they're gonna kind of like pace this out to make it not, kind of dwell on anything. And then it just didn't, and it just ended up going 15. I thought that was a great. That's a sign of a great time limit draw. Is when it's just like,
Yeah.
oh shit, we're here, cool. Um, I do love that the beginning was Micah being a pervert, and then 2 seconds later breaking Mina's back, on the apron, like not in the weird way. Uh, like just like immediately, it's just like I'm touching your boobs. It's funny. I'm funny. I'm a pervert. Haha, funny. And then literally 3 seconds later, just
Um,
kills her. I'm just like,
Hottest
Jesus Christ.
apron
I
bump
loved it.
will like live on in memory because that was nasty. Like that was
It
up
was
there with the
gross.
Tam Suzu one as just that was gross. Like
It
what is
wasn't
wrong with you
necessary. Like
freak?
it just happened. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, goes going crazy. I also love that Micah. It's wild because ever since I said that about the Utami match, where I was like, she really should try doing a bit more just stuff, like just kind of like mixing up a little bit. She's just been like pulling out random moves. Like in this one, she did this like spinning, like back, like it was like the 7 second ride that like James Storm used to do. I was like out of a kick. I was just like, Micah, where was this? Where was this when I asked for it? Like
Mm.
I'm happy you're doing it now, but like Jesus, I love it. It's great. Yeah, that's my analysis of the match. It was very, very good.
Okay, that is fair. Yeah, no, Micah rocks. Mina is awesome, and
Yeah.
this. I mean, as we predicted, this went to a draw. It was the only way to keep them both alive, so kind of made the most sense. Um, So after that then was a Red Stars block match. It was Suzu Suzuki beating Hazuki in 11.5 minutes with a German suplex. This was a big shock. I did not expect Suzu to be in contention on the final night, but here we are. This was exactly the match you would expect Hazuki and Suzu Suzuki to have.
Mhm.
Like it was just hype, just non-stop hype.
Yeah, no, it was very good. I mean, like, it was bittersweet watching it last night because I was just like, man, I gotta watch my girl get eliminated. Uh, this sucks. I hate it here. But I mean, it was still great. So it's like, I couldn't complain too much. Um, Another case of where it's like, if this was live, I know the finishing stretch would have had me like falling out of my chair,
Mm.
freaking out. Um, that's one thing we didn't complain enough about this year. I don't think. More live shows during the tournament. Uh, like, please. I know you can't do it in every venue, but just uh, please,
No,
a
man,
couple more
it
live
is
shows.
2023. Give us a bone, please.
Yeah, like
Like that,
I mean,
that's
at
all
least
I
the
need.
Corkins. That's the craziest thing is that the Corkins are still not live. I think that's where it's really dumb because I've been complaining about this for like 2.5 years. That the Corkins aren't live because I know you can stream live from Cork and Hall. I've seen it in every other company in Japan, and out of Japan that works Cork and Hall. Like, but that's that's
And
that.
if GCW
Um,
can do it, anyone can.
exactly. That's what
That's
I
really
mean. Is
it.
that it's like this is ridiculous. um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, if this was live, it would have been probably one of my favorite matches of the tournament because it was just really well done. Um, I got what I wanted out of both of them. They both just kind of wrestle with this urgency that you really want, and Hazuki wrestling with urgency is always great. So yeah, it was really good. Finishing stretch was great. Um, I would put it on a similar level as the Mike Amina match, where it's like, um, it would have been greater under better circumstances, but it was still just a very, very fun match to watch and really good.
Yeah, no, I would agree. If I was good at this, I would have checked this beforehand. Has anyone closed a show during this GP more often than Suzu? I feel like every time she's won, it's been a
Some
main event.
Oh my god, I think Scott texted me about this. Or
Does seem like a Scott thing. That
somebody
does seem
texted
like
me
something he would
about the
do.
main events. Um,
'Cause I just
yeah,
kind of noticed. I was like, I know she beat Ami, and that was closing the show. She beat
okay.
her
Up
here,
until what day was the show on?
the 20th? No, the 23rd.
23rd. Um, so that was Tam. So yeah, the people who have closed the shows, win or loss, is Mayu and Maika are at 4, but Maika's
Oh,
drawn a bunch and Mayu's lost. Suzu at 3, and I'm pretty sure Suzu won all 3 of those. Um, and this is her 4th. So yeah, it's probably Suzu. Because Natsuko
right.
only had 2. I thought Natsuko would have been higher, but yeah,
Yeah.
probably Suzu.
That's interesting because starting to wonder if Suzu winning is like a very obvious thing that we just missed because she's closed the show so
You
much.
know, I will say the people on blue side outside of Mina that are still in contention, great options to follow to Suzu.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like Suzu versus Maika and Suzu versus Mirai are such obvious
Hmm.
options. And Suzu versus Tam is a match they were going to do anyway. So
Yep,
maybe they are pushing it to December and they're going to lean on the generational warfare aspect.
they could. They definitely could.
Yeah.
'Cause
Because I was just
I thought
like,
about that last night.
she's got
Was
a lot of opportunities to talk and really put herself
yeah,
over, which is
and
interesting.
Natsuko got her title match because Natsuko's the other one who's kind of
Hmm.
given that time to talk and just be kind of the face of the tournament for a bit, even though she hasn't had a match in a month,
Yeah.
just because of scheduling. But no, I definitely can see it because last night I was thinking it's like Susan Mirai is possible. Like it's
It's
more possible than
very.
I think people thought because Mirai is a champion, so nobody expects her to win it. Obviously, she shouldn't win the tournament, but her going through to fall to Suzu makes sense. Like
Hmm.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Indeed. I guess we'll have more on that in a bit.
Yep.
The other show to review, which I mean, it isn't up, so but this was on the September 24th. This was Starverse presents 5-Star GP 2023, supported by SoftBank Sanjo Tournament in the Sanjo City Welfare and Welfare Hall. This was a sold out 504 fans. In the opener, Hanan beat Wakasukiyama with 17. Koguma beat Yuna Mizumori and Saki Kashima in a three-way match in just under 7 minutes with a sideways roll-up. We had Mei
With
Sarah,
the Kumaro? Oh no.
possibly. We had Mei Sarah and Suzu Suzuki beat Hanako and Megan Bain. Suzu got the win over Hanako with a Yokubari lock. I don't think I've ever seen her pull that one out. The only GP match of the show was
There's
in the
also
middle of
no
the card.
pictures on this one, so we don't know like what these
Oh, they haven't
spots look
even
like.
got comments on anything. That's crazy.
No.
Um, well, yeah. Um, so Suri beat Starlight Kid in the Red Stars block with a deformed Flow Flame. I don't know what that is. And that takes Suri up to 11 points, and that was quite the surprise because I don't think anyone had Kid going into the final day on 4 points. So
No. And two of them being from Kamatani, who's injured.
yeah,
She's only won one match.
have to be doing something with Kid, right? Like that. I feel like that has to
I'm
go somewhere.
fearful that she beats Mayu.
It, hmm. I feel like her
Because it
beating Mayu when they're both eliminated is pointless.
yeah.
Like it's
Like if
useless
Mayu was
to
in
both of them.
contention now, it would be perfect. If Mayu was in contention and Kid got a draw or, won, it would be a perfect situation because Kid kind of failing against everybody else, but it's kind of proven to Mayu that's like, oh well, I'm still like you're what really matters type of thing. That would work, but Mayu's out, so
Yeah,
mm.
I would kick it down to next year,
And
or the year
also
after, or whenever they choose
Mayu
to do it.
has Mayu has Kid and Azumi back to back. Think about that in singles
Cool. Yeah, very interesting.
this weekend for Mayu is kind of
Yeah,
cool. Talk about that
that
later.
it is. Um, yeah, that was a shock.
This being middle of the card is also gross. Like
Very odd.
this is a
Very, very odd.
disrespect situation to Kid.
Yeah.
She can't ever get beat in the main event.
She campaigned to get Wave in, and Rossi was like, "Fine, but you lose, okay? You get Momoe. You get this Momoe match you've been bugging me about, but you were gonna lose."
Holy shit! Starlight Kid has not gotten a main event this entire time.
It's crazy. Dude, what the hell are they doing with her? Because there has to be something.
Yeah, because this should have been a main event. Why would? That's crazy. They really kept her out of the main event for every single show, even this show where she definitely should have main evented.
Yeah. Like, I know it's a down year for her. Like, we said this a few months ago. She's being cycled
And hey, I'm
down.
cool with that. But like, this is a bit
Yeah.
disrespectful. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah. It's just kind of weird that they've like done her so pretty in the tournament. But you know what? I'm sure she'll be fine. I'm sure next year she will be right back up because they can only keep her down for so long.
You
That's
know
after
what?
that
This
anyway.
is a we'll talk about it later actually.
Right. This is the final Rose Gold tag match, as said by Rossi Ogawa himself, as they beat Ruaka and Natsuko Tora. Mina got the win over Ruaka with the figure 4 leg lock. Then we had a main event of Maika and Giulia beating Hazuki and Saya Iida when Giulia beat Iida with a glorious driver in 14 minutes.
And this was the setup for the LLPW match.
Yes. So that is the shows that happened. There are, I guess, 3 shows happening this weekend. To focus on.
3, and then like the appearances.
Oh yeah, okay.
Crush
Oh yeah,
Gals
geez, that
and
Crush Gals
Wave.
thing is on as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Gonna be a lot of people missing. Wait, will they? No, they won't miss
2.
the Karkin.
It'll be Iida and Hazuki are the 2 that would miss Korkin.
Siri is also in
Theory.
that match, but also
Oh
the
yeah.
Karkin is at like 11:30, and those other
Yeah,
shows
it's
are in the
early,
evening.
and then those are late.
Might do
Yeah.
both. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, show to preview is on the 29th of September. This is Fiberplex presents New Blood 11 at the Shinagawa Intercity Hall. As we said before, this isn't being streamed live on YouTube, and we will have to watch it in post. The opening match is Hina versus Kazuna Tanaka of Wave versus Hanako.
I
Yeah,
have no clue.
I
I mean,
should
they
probably win.
who?
Yeah,
Kina? Maybe. I don't know. It
oh,
depends because,
Kazuna doesn't win, as far as I know.
but they're
And
setting
Hanako
someone up.
also barely wins.
This match is a number 1 contenders match, basically, for the Rena's belt.
Is?
I mean, Kazuna mentioned that, and Hanukkah mentioned that, and he
Oh,
kind of mentioned that, because they're all they're all like, oh, we all are aiming for the future belt, so I want to win. It's like, oh yeah, I'm also aiming for the future belt. I want to win. So maybe not number 1 contenders, but it's kind of setting it up a bit. And yeah, Kazuna doesn't win. I think that's the issue because I could definitely see Kazuna challenging Rena, um, but I don't know how she wins. So I imagine it's just Hina or Hanako getting the
yeah,
win and then challenging Rena.
makes the most sense. The match after that is a 3-way battle. Sexy Dynamite Princess, and what I am hearing is also one of her last matches in Stardom. Very upsetting.
Mm.
Versus Waka Tsukiyama and Tekla in a
You know
3-way
what's
match.
crazy? Sexy Dynamite Princess's mask has an MM on it.
Oh. Oh. Hey, Mysterio, what are you doing?
Oh my god, that's crazy. How did you?
Okay, in fairness, if you look at it from a certain way, it looks like a HH, brother.
Oh yeah, Hunter Helmsley is behind the mask.
Oh my
Um,
god.
oh my god.
We're
Did you know
explaining
that?
bad twerking.
Did you know that one of the first serial killers in American history was named Triple H? Like,
I did not.
yeah, it was very strange to find out about in Chicago history class. Um, this match probably should just be 69 My Princess versus Tekla, so that
Yeah,
they can finally
but
do that match before it ceases to exist. Um,
yeah,
plus, that way Tekla could win it because 69 My Princess is unproven and she, can go out on her back very easily. So they probably should have
yeah.
done that, but
Waka is
Waka's heel.
definitely losing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yep.
I look forward to Tekla's reactions to Sexy Dynamite Princess because I feel like we don't fully understand what she's gonna do in reaction. And I'm kind of intrigued. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
like
it'll
Tekla
be
could just be
fun.
super into it, or she could just be like, "What in the hell are you doing?" And
She might
either
be
way, I'm
mad.
here for it. Yeah, she might be. That's gonna be fun. The match after that, the latest in the series, the epic series, the modern day Austin Rock, ADC versus Ruaka.
More Cena Orton. Um,
Oh, gee, dude, that is nasty.
hey, I liked some of the Cena Orton matches, to be fair.
Nah, nah,
Oh, come on, the one where Orton tried to kill him
no.
by just exploding him. I didn't watch the rest of the match, but that was cool. I think that was an Iron Man match. That's why I didn't watch it.
Was yeah, it was. Vividly
Um,
remember.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this match is happening.
That's underselling it, but sure. I guess Rock is gonna win. That's their thing.
I think they're like 7-1 in favor of Ruaka, so it
Okay.
makes sense.
Give Lady C a mountain to climb, I guess. Keep her on the wheel. The match after that, Passion Injection match, Nanai Takahashi versus Mei Sarah.
Oof, this one's
I
gonna be
want to
good.
say this is only the second time they've ever shared a ring together, which would be kind of crazy.
I'm
I'm just
pretty
gonna
sure. I
double
know that
check.
they've wrestled in a tag before, but you're probably right.
I will check.
No, I'm
Because
checking. I'm checking. I'm
May
checking.
Sarah
Oh no, it's been a
did
couple times. It's been a couple
work
times.
ceiling a lot. Are you sure?
Uh, Nanai, yeah, it's on the Marvelous show. They had
Oh,
2 mirror matches, but one was 14 seconds.
okay. So this whole match was great. Actually, I remember this vividly going down at the peak of Marvelous. So I think Takumi powerbombed the shit out of Makoto Shindo and pinned her in seconds, and so they restarted the match. She absolutely obliterated Makoto Shindo, and then they proceeded to have a banger match because it was like Maria, May, and Makoto were like proving themselves against these three like top figures of the indies at the time. It was a great match.
Nanai,
But yeah,
Saori, and Takumi is a disgusting team. I will say that.
yes, dude, Marvelous was cooking back here. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing now?
And then they wrestled in a tag with the NSA earlier in the year.
Yeah, I forgot that they had wrestled in Stardom already, but it's yeah.
Yeah.
The important thing is that cool 6-woman tag where Makoto Shindo died for our
Yes.
sins.
Yes.
Um,
Shouts out
yeah,
Clock.
Nanai is winning this, and Mei Sarah is getting a power up ahead of her high speed championship match.
Yeah. I'm sure this will be good because I really like May Sarah wrestling like running circles around like bigger wrestlers. I think that's
Yeah.
like super fun. Um,
Mhm.
it's kind of what she made her bread and butter with in Marvelous, was always, just getting overpowered but just kind of wrestling around them, and it was great. So that should be really fun.
Indeed. The match after that is a Yuna Mizumori Gozen promotion assessment match. It is Tam Nakano versus Yuna Mizumori. I expect this is the end of this storyline, and Tam's going to beat her and accept her into the group. Because I don't
Or
know how
just
you
kick her
can
out.
kick it down the line again. Or
It's
not
also
kicking her
possible
out.
that they just
Not a
say, "Yeah,
chance.
you're not good enough," and she goes to God's Eye.
No, never.
Maybe she'll be better in Stardom.
No,
No,
I think
okay.
she's definitely joining. Need a pin here, my friend.
I think her and Cosmic Angels is, I don't very much like it.
I don't like anyone in Cosmic Angels.
No, I think
That is a
Natsuko and Cosmic Angels makes
running
sense. I think
thing.
Anu and Cosmic Angels is dope. Um, I think the issue is that I've seen Yuna be great in her later stuff in Got to Move, be great in 7 Up, and be okay in Cosmic Angels. And that's where the fall off is, where I was like, oh, that's kind of a shame. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, I'm not saying she's shit, but it's just a noticeable drop off for me. Uh,
See.
yeah, I mean, she'll probably join, unless Tam's just feeling extra shitty on that day because being an asshole.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
Always
what they
possible.
could do unless they just repeat the Waka thing step for step and have Tam team with Yuna next. But
It
I
would
feel like
suck so much.
I feel like if you copied it directly like 6 months later, it would be a bit
It's
eh.
Yuna and Tam in Tag League, huh? Or no, Yuna. No, it's Yuna and Ami. That's why I said God's Eye.
Yes.
I'm an
Oh,
idiot. Yeah.
yeah, but it's yeah. Anyway, I imagine Tam wins. The match after that is a Future of Stardom Championship match. Rina versus Azusa Inaba. Do you
Gotta
know
be. Oh, go ahead.
Azusa challenged for the Ice Ribbon Tag Belts yesterday. And it was a match that went 29.5 minutes.
I heard. Have you seen it?
Who let that happen?
Is anybody gonna see it?
No, Jesus,
Somebody
no.
needs to see it to let me know if it's like really bad or not. Because she
I
is
imagine it's really
still
bad.
15, 16 now. I don't know.
Yeah.
15. Yeah. Don't do that. Why do you do
No.
that? Hanan didn't have a match longer than like 12 minutes until last year.
Crazy
She
shit.
should be doing that with the youngins.
Not at all. But yeah, this is probably going to be Rina's best match of this reign. Because Azusa is very good.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure. I don't remember what the first one was. If that was any good.
Was Waka the first one? She only defended
No.
it once.
So she won it from Ami. Defending against Lady C, which was a surprisingly
Oh
good match.
yeah, I remember that.
And then it was Waka, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Which was
probably the best one. I mean, Azusa is pretty great for where she is.
Yeah. No, this should be really good.
All right.
Especially because Rena's been like kind of doing more limb work stuff, and I think Azusa could like that's a good way to work Azusa. I think they'll mesh pretty well.
That's true. The main event then of this show is a New Blood Tag Team Championship match. It's a three-way tag. We have the champion team of Bloody Fate, Karma
Wait
and
a
Starlight
second.
Kid. What?
I just
Okay.
realized that Karma, written on her face, has Natsuko's catchphrase.
Really?
And Karma's been wearing this on her face since she like came in. Shiver, shiver, sleep, right? And Natsuko's catchphrase is "Shiver in your sleep."
Wow.
They should be tag champs. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. The challenger teams are Wing Gori of Hanan and Saya Iida, and then O2 Lion of Azumi and Miyu Amasaki. So the reason this is a three-way has to be because they're taking the belts off Bloody Fate.
Yeah,
Because
which they should.
Karma is a Diana World Champion now. You're not going to get her losing a 2-on-2 tag. So this has to be, Kevin losing to somebody or Ida losing to somebody.
You know, it would be really funny
What?
if Azumi just beat Kid.
Yes. Oh, dude, honestly. But yeah, I would imagine Hanan or Azumi gets the win for their team. I feel like Hanan and Ida are more likely, just because they can probably carry this brand a little bit better.
It's
Whereas
not like they're
Azumi,
doing a ton right now.
yeah, I mean Azumi is challenging for the actual tag belts, so
Well,
I feel like she
not
won't.
anymore.
Oh, they'll probably
Probably.
still do it. She'll probably get a
That's like
different partner.
that's like in a weekend. Yeah, true. I don't know who she'd tag with.
I don't know. Call
We'll
it
see.
Dime Up Mishuga. Let's go.
Oh, 100%. That would be the
Um,
best case scenario, honestly.
yes. But yeah, I kind of think Wingori might win.
Hmm.
Just because Hanan and Ida doing stuff on this brand could be very good for both of them. And this is a good way to give Hanan another title run, considering she is not winning any of the main belts anytime soon.
I think the one thing that makes me have pause about them winning is that they're not in tag league, and Azumi and Miyu are.
Yeah, but I mean, these belts
The the
disappear
the,
so
th-
much.
the
Is
thing
there
I
any
am the most scared
point?
about is that Ida's just gonna dip from stars,
Oh, well, I don't see a point in
and
doing that, to be honest.
I don't
So
either. But I understand why not putting belts on them. You know, like I get why they would do that. Or
yeah,
Hanan's going to Club Venus, which he's not. Everybody shut up.
no,
She's not. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really don't. But there's good options for both of them. I think that like Azumi and Miyu have really grown as a tag team since last year, and Wingori
yeah.
is cool. I think they're really
I
dope.
feel like
So
Azumi would just give them the same issue that Kid has given them of she's kind of a bit too big for New Blood,
mm.
so it's been hard to like get her doing anything because
Yeah,
she
and
can't
they've kind of
lose really.
quietly gotten Suzu off of these shows. I'm sure
Yeah,
she was on the last one, but you know, like it's just kind of like, oh, she's just kind of not in New Blood anymore, and that makes sense.
yeah.
Uh, so I could see this kind of being a graduation for both of them, and them just kind of, you know, letting Wingori take the belts and Kid and Izumi fuck off from New Blood.
Mm,
But I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. All I know is this feels like a way to get the belts off of Karma because
Yeah.
it just is going to get very difficult after this. But anyway.
Still upset that we never got that Iger match, by the way.
Oh yeah, damn, Iger retired.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad. You see Hirota and Aja Kong. Hirota did the Iger spot where she like hides behind them with her
Oh
arms draped over.
yeah. I did see
I
that.
was like, dude, I'm crying in tears here. This is beautiful. I love
It
Hirota
was a
so
beautiful
much.
moment.
But anyway, big one. The one we're all here for on September 30th, and this is the last time I get to say this, so I'm taking it in. Starverse presents 5-Star GP 2023 Championship match supported by SoftBank in the Yokohama Budokan.
Yeah, we made it.
We did. In the opener, well, they have this won't be the opener, but it is a Blue Stars block match. Saori Ano versus Mina Shirakawa. Mina's
Yeah.
tournament is on the line.
So the big thing, and this is a bit of inside baseball. I apologize if this ruins your immersion. We will find out basically who wins when the match card gets announced, when the order gets announced.
Yes.
Because if this match is for some reason going last in the Blue Stars, Mina's just going through. Whereas Maika and Mirai, if they go on later, I think Maika's probably just going through. Or Mirai is just going through. But
Yeah.
that's one thing, is that it's like the match order very much dictates what's going on this show.
Yeah, that's why they keep that very close to the chest usually. Like they only announce it on the day of as the show starts. So we can make our predictions now based on the current card, but any change in the order it kind of gives away what they're gonna do. Either way, I suspect Mina wins here to stay in contention. I don't see this going on as the last match of this block, so I would suspect she wins.
Yeah, I mean, Amina win here would keep her in contention, but Amina loss here would kind of just make. Well, fuck, I need to pull up the fucking tiebreakers. I hate this. Hold on. Our boy Dragon Moon actually put up
Yes,
the
yeah, I've
flow chart.
also gone to this.
1222. Where is his
His
brother?
brother retweets so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apologies, this is bad audio, but
No, we're okay.
yeah, we are. So basically, a Mina loss here would just mean nothing matters, right? So yeah, it would just mean Micah and Mariah are fighting for the final 100%,
Yeah,
and a draw between them would
do nothing.
uh, Giulia wins. It would mean Mariah wins.
Oh, right,
If
okay.
Mina loses and Micah and Mariah go to a draw, then Mariah advances. So
I see.
what we could see is Sayori beat Mina, and then it's Micah has to. Oh, that's a good story. That is a
What?
good story because Micah's been drawing every single fucking match. So they make it so that if Micah draws, she's out.
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting, actually. Yeah.
That would actually be a really good story.
Hmm.
I would dig
You're
that.
onto
So I
something.
think Mina might
You're onto
fall to Sayori, and then it is just on Micah versus Mirai, and Mirai goes through if it's a draw or a Mirai win. Obviously, I could see that
Okay.
happening.
Have you considered I want Mina to win?
Yeah, no, I mean, but okay, but have you also considered Mina winning would take such dumb math that I hate and that I
I don't
don't
know
want
if
it to
it
come.
does. They haven't actually explained how tiebreakers work, but I assume it would be the weighted
Basically,
tiebreaker. She
yeah,
would win because she's beat the other ones more.
yeah, because she has everybody would be on 11, and Mina will have beaten two of them, drawn with one of them, and lost to none of them.
Yeah. So that would put her through.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If Micah and Mirai draw and Mina wins against Sayori.
Okay. Now here's the thing that backs up your theory. Rossi Ogawa loves to have somebody draw and go through. He has done it like the
But that
last
would mean
3
Mirai goes
years
through.
running. Yeah. And that's what I mean, your theory
Mhm.
of Mirai wins. He does love that specific play, So I could see your idea coming true a lot more than mine, because he does love to do a draw that sends somebody through. But usually, the draw sends the winner through, but let's hope that doesn't happen this time. Because if Mirai wins another tournament, I think Twitter might actually
This is
explode.
also, oh yeah, this is where I could actually kind of say it. You want to know a fun fact about Stardom tournaments?
What?
So you remember those Osaka split tournaments they used to do for trios? Um,
Yeah?
outside of one of those, an Oedo Time member has never won a Stardom tournament
Whoa.
in history. Not
That's crazy.
Natsuko, Saki, and Ruako won like one very low stakes Osaka split tournament in like 2021. Uh, and other than that, they have never won a tournament, whether it's tag, singles, Cinderella, it doesn't matter, none of it. And they're the
Wow.
longest
Okay.
running faction too.
All right. That is
So yeah, it's a
crazy.
little fun fact. Yeah, I mean, obviously this also comes down to taste because obviously I don't really want Mina to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Uh, so I could definitely see Sayori just
Well,
beating her.
no, you've kind of won me over because I don't think Theory should probably lose again. Um, and also they do love the draw that sends somebody through. So
I think
Mirai.
the issue with Sayori is that I thought this would be to continue the tag feud that Mina has with Cosmic Angels.
Oh yeah.
Um, unless they're doing Tam Mina at some point versus, for the tag belts, she doesn't have a tag team partner. She has Waka, but she's
Yeah.
not challenging for the tag belts. So that's why I thought, oh, Sayori beating Mina would kind of like make that a story. It keeps it kind of going where it's like Mina still can't get one up on Cosmic Angels in the tag team division. But I don't know what lane Mina's in coming out of this tournament. You know what I mean?
I
So
don't know. I mean, she made big overtures about challenging Tam for the belt, but
mhm.
I don't know where they would do
So
that.
does most people. you know.
Yes, but like she got a full-on thing with Tam on pay-per-view to do it. So I don't know, but yeah, I think you've convinced me here. Soriano is going to beat Mina and end her tournament. The match after that, Blue Stars block, Hanan versus Mariah May. I assume originally this was Mariah beating Hanan, but this is her last show. She seems to really like Hanan. I could see her voluntarily being like, "Hey, I will lose to Hanan on my last
Yeah,
show."
and I think I've called this as a Hanan win from the jump because I feel like if anybody's gonna give Hanan points, it's gonna be Mariah May, because she's not winning, and now we know she's not even staying past this show. Um, so yeah, you gotta go out on your back, and if you're gonna go out on your back, do it for someone that you really like. So
The
that makes total sense.
future ace, my
Yeah,
brother. All right.
foreign ace is going to America, man. That sucks. She's still foreign,
Um,
but like, whatever.
that's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
The match after that, anyway. Blue Stars block Azumi versus Momo Watanabe. This has no stakes. Just let Azumi upset. Oh no, Momo's challenging for the white belt. Yeah, Momo's gonna beat her.
That sucks. But yeah, I
Momo's
forgot
gonna
about the white belt
batter
match.
her from pillar to post. I assume the original idea was Momo wins here and Azumi gets the win back on the Corkin, but now they aren't facing each other on the Corkin, so
They probably should have just done. They should actually no, they shouldn't have.
no,
Do two
no,
back-to-back singles.
no.
Yeah, no, because yeah, I guess Momo could just win here,
All right.
unfortunately.
As we know, Giulia versus Utami Hayashishita is now off, and Giulia is winning that by a forfeit. So Giulia goes up to 11 points, but she's out because she's lost to both Mirai and Maika.
Correct.
Wait, no, didn't she beat Maika?
She beat Maika, but she uh back to my man Dragon Moon. So Julia wins this. Mirai still goes through because Mirai has the tiebreaker over Julia. Um,
Oh, and Maika, wouldn't she?
so
Oh no, she
okay,
wouldn't.
so the thing is that Micah and Mirai are fighting for 12 points. So if either
Yeah.
of them win, they're above Julia. If they
Okay.
draw, then Julia loses due to tiebreaker because Mirai, Mina, and Micah, Julia has lower than Mirai or
But
Mina.
if Mina loses, then it's only a three-way tie.
Yeah, and that would. Oh wait,
Is it
that's
do
actually true.
are they
Okay,
weighting it
I think
as
that means
wins is it wins are more valuable or is it tiebreakers? Because does Mirai have more wins than Giulia?
It's tiebreakers. So it's wins within a this is stupid, by the way. I hope everybody knows
Yes.
this. It's very unfortunate that we got to this point, but Utami got injured, points got fucked up, even though that was just Hanan and Mirai and Giulia. So yeah, actually no, they all got fucked up. Uh, but so basically, I'm pretty sure it would be Maika, Mirai, and because
Wouldn't
I'm
it
trying
have
to
to
think
be a
about this.
playoff? Because
That would make
Giulia
sense
and
because it's
Mirai
three
would
three.
be
It's one
tied.
one one. No, because Maika hasn't beaten either of them.
Yeah, so it would be a playoff between Mirai and
But
Giulia.
Mirai beat Giulia.
But Giulia beat Maika, so
But
the
Maika's out.
three of them.
If Maika draws here, she's out. She can't win. That's the difference. If Maika
She'd be on
draws
11.
with Mirai, yeah, but she hasn't beaten
Yeah,
either
but
of the
what
other
I'm
two in
saying
contention.
is the playoff is Mirai and Giulia.
No, because Mirai beat Giulia, so there's no reason to have a playoff.
But they would also be tied with Maika, and since Maika lost to Giulia, Giulia would get a leg up from that.
But it's not a circle. That's the issue. Is that if Maika beat Mirai, Mirai beat Giulia, and Giulia beat Maika, then it would be a playoff. But because Maika and Mirai drew, it would mean that Maika's just out. Maika's
Yeah,
points
but
don't matter.
is it not that both Giulia and Mirai have wins over people who are tied, so they would both be level? Like, I don't know, man. I'm so confused. Anyway, Dragon Moon says that in our scenario, Mirai would progress. So there's no point in believing that he's wrong.
Giulia's just out. That's what we were trying to
Okay.
discuss. Is Giulia's
Kind
out.
of, yeah. See, here's the thing. Stardom has never explicitly explained what happens
That's the issue.
in a
That is the
multi-person
issue.
tie. To my knowledge, anyway, they might have done it somewhere in Japanese or something, but it has never been explained to me as an English speaker what they do in a multi-person tie. I don't know if it's happened before.
Oh,
You
it
know,
has.
I haven't watched old 5-star Grand Prix. I don't think they've ever done a 3-way tie or a 4-way tie. So, I don't know how they break it up.
I
But
mean, I don't know if I'm sure some tournament has at some point. I think Catch the Wave has, but like most conventional tournaments stay as far away from this shit as possible.
yes, yeah,
Even Noah, who did end up doing like a tie at the end, just had a playoff where it was like, oh well,
yeah,
they tied each other and they had tied points, and everybody else is below them, so that's it. Um, yeah, it's dumb.
yeah. But either way, we have Mirai and Maika going to a draw to send
No,
Mirai
not.
through.
But I don't know.
What do you mean? But like, this is their play. They do a draw to send someone through. That's like their
But
thing.
I think going back on that makes even more sense here. Like think about the Oedo tie match. Like that was their play. Their play was Oedo tie wins, somebody gets taken out of Queen's Quest. They
I
subverted that,
guess. But
and they
this is
made it
like,
because the story made so much sense for it to go in that direction. They subverted. In this situation, Maika has literally drawn more than like any other wrestler in 5-star history in one tournament. That's just I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but like it's close to being true, especially a wrestler who is native to the roster. She's drawn a lot. So, and even though that's just two, so I think her them getting close to the time limit and Maika just pulling out a Michinoku driver, like out of necessity because she can't draw again. I think that makes sense, especially if Maika's winning the tournament. And also, I've been talking to Scott about this, um, and we're gonna have to talk about Red Stars as well. I think if you want to legitimize Maika as a main event wrestler, the way you do that, in her winning the 5-star, the way you do that is her beating the two top champions back to back on one day.
so she'd have to beat Tam as well. You have Tam
I
going
think
through,
if Maika goes through, then Tam goes through.
and not Suzu. You don't
No,
have the Maika Suzu final.
there's no way a Maika
Wow.
Suzu, because the entire point is Suzu calling Maika a loser because every time they are around each other, Maika loses.
That's
Um,
true. So I
so
would just like to say, I did my research. On 2 occasions, Stardom has done multi-person ties in the 5-star. Actually, 3.
Jesus.
Apparently, Hannah, Tam, and Momo also were tied a few years ago. So they do actually like to do this a lot. And I think they do the weighted tiebreakers. So there was one year it was Yoko Bito, Viper, Kagetsu, and Mayu all tied on 10. And it was Yoko Bito that was sent through to the final. So,
Well,
she had beaten more of the other ones. So,
but did she beat both of them?
well, it was a tie between 4 people, and she had beat 2 and lost to Mayu. So she had more tiebreakers than everybody else.
Damn. So there's a I didn't know that.
So, like, in the eventuality that Giulia, Maika, and Mirai draw, it would be weighted. It would be the weighted thing. So I think Giulia and Mirai would actually have to have a playoff. They've avoided playoffs up till now, as far as I can see, but they have had multi-person ties, and every time.
But I still like it's weighted, but that means that Giulia only gets of the if Mina, but that would mean Mina wins to get to 11, right? Because Mina's at 9 now. So I just think Mina just loses. I don't think she plays into it. So
Okay.
in that case, it would be Mirai has a win over Giulia and a draw. So that is 3 points for Mirai. And then Giulia has a win over Maika, and that's 2 points. So Mirai would just go through.
I think
Velke
you get what I'm going
is
at.
Velke hates how much like
We have to,
how
but
many
I don't
numbers
think
we're
you
talking about right
understand what I'm saying, because I feel like Giulia and Mirai would be tied in this situation. So,
But how? Where do Giulia's points come from?
because she beat Maika,
But that's 2. So she's beaten one person.
but she'd be tied with the other 2, wouldn't she?
She beat one person, lost one person.
Yeah, but
Mirai
then
would not have
Mirai.
lost to anybody.
Oh, are you saying that the draw would count as better than a loss?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, right, okay. I
I
don't
mean,
know if
it's
they
1 point
count
compared to
those.
0.
I don't know how they do those, actually.
It's
That's a
1
good
point
question.
versus 0. How would they not count a draw?
I don't know. That's never happened before,
It's
to
true.
my
That's true.
knowledge. Anyway, listen. The Blue Stars block is a mess because Utami got hurt at the very last second. I believe they're gonna do the same play that they always do, and Maika and Mirai will end in a draw, and Mirai will go through, because I am now fully confident Suzu is winning the tournament. But I also don't know. I cannot tell. We had a very strong grasp on this tournament. We knew months ago it was
You know what's so
Saya
funny?
versus Utami, and now it's up in the
Scott
air. They're both
posted a
gone.
screenshot of him talking about the 5-star with like big circles over Utami and Saya.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Dude,
"Fuck, man."
it was the most obvious play. It was as obvious as Giulia Tam last year, Suri Momo the year before, which we eventually figured out was the final. They are not. They're kind of easy to get at a certain point. And this year was very easy. It was definitely Utami Saya. But now it's I just have no idea. Like I don't know who replaces either of them. So, yeah, I think safe to say we have Mina losing, and it will come down to a Mirai versus Maika shootout. Basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also what I'm kind of hoping because I
All
think
right.
there's interest there.
You have Maika going through, and I have Mirai.
So I don't really have either of them. Like it's pretty much like I said, there are 2 possible finals for me, and one of them has Maika going through, and one of them has Mirai going through.
Right. Okay. I think Suzu goes through on the other side either way. So I think it's Suzu versus Mirai because they've done that before and they
Suzu versus
know it'll
Mirai
be
would make
good.
sense.
Yeah. So I feel like they do that. But I don't know. The Red Stars kicks off with Hazuki versus Natsuko Tora. If Tora wins, she simply wins, which is very unlikely, given that her losing a block final. Yeah, her losing a block final a week before challenging Tam would be a very odd decision. So
And as
I
I've said
just
before, Hazuki can just roll her up if she wants.
Hazuki beating her
Also,
has been such an
Hazuki has a
obvious.
super protected finish with the
Yeah,
Brainbuster, so it's like, like
yeah.
it's
Like
there's
this
no
has
shame
been
in Natsuko losing.
no. This has been very obvious, kind of since the final day was announced that they
Yeah.
would do Hazuki over thing. Um,
At least one of the whoever was in contention was going to fall to the other one.
yes,
I think that was the idea at first.
but I think we all kind of knew it would be Tora primarily. After that, then we have another key match: Suri versus Ami Sore in the Red Stars block. So Suri, on account of her win over Kid, is in contention,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
Well, depends
Very
on how
much in contention,
Tam
I'm pretty sure.
Natsupoi goes. If Suri wins, she can go up to 13 points, which would put her level with Tam. Well, potentially level with Tam.
Wait, but okay, so the way it works is Natsuko, I think everybody has it that she's losing, so
Yeah.
bam, non-factor. Then it goes to Tam, Natsupoi, and Shuri, Ami. So if Tam, because Tam and Shuri on the same amount of points, so if Natsuko loses, or Jesus, if Tam loses to Natsupoi, and Shuri wins against Ami, Shuri's through. If
Yeah.
Tam wins against Natsupoi, Tam is through. If they draw,
hmm
then it's Shuri and Ami, and then if they draw, it's Natsuko Suzu play blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
whatever.
There are two possible playoffs, and both seem just completely awful from a booking perspective. So I
Yes.
don't think they're going to do it because one of them is a three-way playoff.
hmm
Um.
Maybe that's how they get Suzu on the card before she has to wrestle.
Oh man, who
But that means
knows?
she'd have to pin either Natsuko or Shuri, so that's
Yeah,
not.
not happening. Not happening. So yeah, I feel like Ami has to win here,
Yes, I mean no doubt.
which
Like regardless of any situation. Because that was the other thing is that Maika versus Shuri would make a lot of sense as a final if Maika's winning. Her finally
hmm
beating someone that important. Uh, But Shuri really needs to lose to Ami because Ami's facing Giulia the next day, and Ami just kind of needs the
Oh
points.
yeah,
As
that's true.
it's last day upset. It's just it makes sense. And this can't be a draw because that would result in a playoff. So I think
Yeah,
Ami just beats Shuri.
yeah, I'm with it. Then we have Tam Nakano versus Natsupoi, and this is kind of the big match in the
Let's
block.
go to Mayu Kid first because that's like we're gonna
Okay.
start talking about the final if we talk
Yeah.
Tam Natsupoi. No.
Well, so do you wanna do Mayu Kid?
Yeah. Let's just get to
Yeah.
Mayu Kid
All right.
first.
Yeah. I mean, Mayu winning makes the most sense there.
Yes. Like I said earlier, it's kind of a shame because I think this had potential to be a very heated match that
hmm
could go to a draw. But because, like you said, there's it's stakeless outside of Kid having something to prove. Um, I think Mai probably should just win. Kid,
Yeah.
even Kid pushing a draw, I think would kind of be a waste of time. Uh, when other matches on this show might need to go to a draw.
Yes, definitely.
But
Yeah.
even so, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like what other match needs to go to a draw except for maybe Micah Mirai, which will go either 14 and a half minutes or 15 minutes. Um,
It's a good question.
so I mean, this could go to a draw. Like there's time for it, and also there's only 8 matches on this card instead of 10 because 2 people are out. Um, so this could go to a draw if they wanted to get Kid feeling a little bit more on Mayu's level, even though she's very much not. Uh, but I
Yeah,
think I'm just kind of talking around Mayu winning.
yeah, I think you can do most of this at a different point. So, it's for now we'll just have Mayu win,
Yeah.
kick it down the road. And then we get on to the big match, another big match, Red Stars block, Tam Nakano versus Natsupoi. So, a lot of repercussions to this one.
From
If
from our
Tam,
from our predictions up to this point, this is Tam wins. She's through. Tam loses. Suzu's through.
yeah. So I don't know if you have Natsupoi and Amisori both get upsets one after
That's
the
the
other.
thing.
That's my only real question here. Because I know one upset is like the standard for the final night, and I guess some would say Hanan versus Mariah is that upset, but I
No, it's
mean,
not.
having
I don't
having
think
like
that's that much of an upset. I mean, it's an upset,
uh,
obviously, but
kind of. I mean, Hanan
I
beating a
think it's just
former
what
tag
it is.
champ, but it's fairly important. But I mean, Ami and Natsupoi both getting these big upset wins, like one after the other. Are we sure?
Oh wait, hold on. I was looking at the wrong thing. He updated the thingy. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying I think Tam might go through.
Hmm.
I think a Tam might go fight because
But here's the thing: if Tam goes through, she almost has to win.
no, she doesn't. Because
She does.
Tam is not losing the belt at year end.
She's not, but if she wins,
So
then she gets to nominate her challenger, and then they can do Saya,
yeah,
presumably.
see, I hate that. I hate that for the millionth time, Tam just accidentally succeeds like no other person in the history of this company ever has. Like that's frustrating to me. um,
Yeah, but they've done this big thing with Tam this year, right? Like this is Tam's year. What
but like
better way to
nobody has
crown that?
had this much of a year ever. Like Mayu, what
Yeah,
like,
I know, but
and that sucks.
this is how they view Tam. This is how they see Tam.
It
And
is
in
funny because
fairness,
like
we're not long away from Siri having 3 belts at once. They did this for Siri. They rolled out the red carpet for Siri
yeah,
too. Like when they want to push someone, they push someone. Um, and I don't know. If you're gonna put Tam through the final, you might as well have her win, and
I
then you get to do
disagree.
the Saya match.
Yes, like that would that would suck.
Like
Like not the
Maika,
match itself,
like
but
Maika beating her and then losing in December. Like there's no real point.
it legitimizes Micah. Like
Kind of.
actually this time,
The way
they've
to
said that they do
legitimize
that a million
Maika
times.
is to give her her own faction and not have her get smacked back into irrelevancy by Giulia.
See, I think well with that case, we're talking about next week, which is when I think either. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you the second part of this that you're gonna hate even more about Micah potentially winning. You want to hear it?
Oh man, what is that?
So I was thinking, how does Micah win this tournament, not become artist champion, not win tag league, and then go to the big show, right? Um, so I was thinking tag league, bam, non-factor. I don't know what the fuck is going on with tag league. That makes sense for Micah and Megan to win, but whatever. I'm not talking about that. The way I'm looking at it is if Micah beats Mirai, beats Tam, uh, then next week she gets rolled up by Giulia, and Giulia challenges for the briefcase. And then Micah beats Giulia. Or Giulia beats Micah, and then Giulia's through, and Giulia and Tam again. And I'm gonna fucking hate everything about life. Like that's also possible. But if you want to give Micah the greatest back end of a year ever, you have her beat the white belt champion, beat the red belt champion, beat Giulia, and then lose
Lose the Tam.
presumably to Tam. Yeah,
I don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see Micah
I'm
Tam.
talking with big. But the thing is that if Micah beats Tam, that's a match. Like, because that's the issue.
Is
That's the
it?
issue we've been
Is
talking about.
it?
Is that like how like Micah and Tam? What's to it? What's to it is Micah fucking beating her clean in the middle of the ring 2 months before the match happens. Like especially, and I'm not saying Tam's gonna get squashed by Micah. I'm not saying that's what the final's gonna be. But if Micah does it like emphatically, like I think that's a match. I think that becomes a thing. If you want to make it if you want to make Micah a thing, that's how you make Micah a thing. And
Okay.
like this is coming from someone who like I have a lot of friends who are delusional Peps. I was gonna not call him out. I was
Wow.
gonna not call him out.
Wow.
That's
That
so funny.
is
That's crazy. No, but actually it's funny because Peps gave me this idea because he said there's no way Micah beats Tam in the final. And I thought, no, that probably makes the most sense. Like I think Micah beating Tam is like the way that Micah wins this tournament. Like that's it. Because if Micah's in there against Suzu, Suzu's winning.
Hmm.
So I think the way to make Tam like, and what I was trying to say before I accidentally threw shade at at Peps, love you Peps. Before I actually accidentally did that, what I was trying to say is that it's like this is not coming from a place of just like, oh well, I like Micah, so Micah should win. I'm saying from a place of if you want Micah to look really fucking good, because the two options you had who were also in the golden generation, are out. Like Micah makes sense as a replacement for either Saya or Utami because she's basically just Saya and Utami, like just from a position standpoint, except she hasn't won a belt. So I think if you want to really make Micah over Mirai, Micah over Tam, and then Micah over Giulia uh, in a month or two. I think that's how you do it.
Hmm.
At the same time, Suzu over Mirai, I'm rocking with it. Like that.
Yeah, see,
Those
I
are
feel
those are
like
my two.
Suzu's a ready-made replacement for everybody that they're missing. Like, she's a very easy match to do with Tam.
Hmm.
And she's a very easy winner. Now, is it a lot too soon? Probably. But I mean, this is a woman who was a Ice and X Infinity champion at like 19, so I don't
I think
know.
early adapter is kind of her gimmick.
Yeah, so I don't know. It would be weird for Suzu to win the 5-star, definitely. Like, it would be basically her peaking already. Um, but it just, I don't know, her and Tam just seems like a very easy match to do. And the two people who are most likely to go through from the blue block pair up with her perfectly for what they usually want to do with this tournament final. Like, her and Mirai is in the similar vein to Giulia Tam, Momo Suri, Hana Konami. It is the
Yeah.
exact archetype of what
Where
they do.
they have enough history to where you kind of know it's going to be good, but
Yeah,
not to the point where it's like, oh, this is like a money match that if you're doing it here, you're giving it up.
yeah,
But they were also going to give up Julia Utami anyway, so it's not like, like I don't know how
yeah.
much they're worried
Well,
about
that
that.
was a block match, though. You can get away with
Yeah,
that.
food for thought. I don't know if I used that phrase right. Who would Mina match up with out of Red if she went through?
Hmm. I would have her do the Tam,
You'd
or
have her do the. Oh, that
have
would
her
be
beat
rough.
Tam. Have her beat
But
Tam, and
then she
then
has to lose to Tam
she will
at
lose
year
the
end.
title match. I'm very aware that she's losing the title match, but
It
I
would
mean,
be really fucked for me if I've been saying all this and it's just Mina instead of instead of Micah in
yeah.
everything that I've
Well,
just
I
said.
mean, who knows? I guess you could put Suri through if it was Mina.
They have a
They have
match next week.
enough. Yeah, but I mean, it's different circumstances.
Yeah,
So you do ref match, you could do a
I
normal one
guess.
here. Is there enough like story to that? I don't know. That is like I genuinely
I
have
think
no
if Mina
idea.
goes through, Tam has to go through. And I don't want to see that match 3 times this year. I'm gonna be real. Uh,
Well, boohoo. I do. I don't know.
that's fair. Yeah, no, that's
Um,
fair.
yeah, I'm confused because yeah, uh, you have good options. I have good options. I have no read on what the actual final is going to be. If I had to guess now, I'm going with Suzu and Mirai.
Hmm.
But your Tom Maika one would probably be cool. I don't know though. I'm very. So you would have Tam going over Natsupoi anyway.
If that were to happen, yeah.
Okay. And if
It,
not
it
her, then Suzu advances by Ami and Natsupoi and Hazuki all winning.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for Red Block, I firmly there's no way Shuri's going through. Natsuko's not going through. So it is just either Suzu or Tam.
Right. And Blue
And then
Stars,
on
it's
blue,
either
it's
Mirai or Maika.
and obviously Mina's always looming. You know, like Mina has a chance
Yeah.
of doing what I just said Micah should do. But I definitely feel like that's a Mina or a Micah Mirai situation over there.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great night of wrestling. It's gonna feel different. This is one of the first years that like I truly have no idea what
Yeah.
to expect.
Y-
You
You
know,
know
like
that's where the
since I've
injuries
like
are
thought about it.
like. That's
Good.
where the injuries are almost a good thing because, as I say, it was it was obvious Utami and Saya was the final, and now there is no obvious final. Like there's so many different ones they can do. But yeah, I think that's our prediction attempts. Either Suzu and Mirai is the final, or Tam faces Maika or Mina, basically. You're not doing Suzu. You're not behind a Suzu Maika final anymore.
I would love it, but
You don't think it's happening?
I think if that happens, Suzu's winning.
Really?
And
Hmm.
100%. There's no way Maika beats Suzu in a final.
I would
Right now,
suspect it's more 50-50 than that, but
I think between Suzu and Maika, Suzu is trying to get Maika to be better. And
yeah.
so Suzu right now is supposed to be better in that dynamic. Maika could win because it's like a separate thing, right? And like because it's chaos and that like at a certain point I gave up on the Maika final while
hmm
Utami was still healthy because it's like, oh well, Micah's just trying to figure it out right now. But then I thought about it's like Micah could definitely sub in and definitely like do both stories at once where it's like she's doing great, but she can't seem to shake the Suzu Giulia problem. Where it's like she keeps losing to Giulia, and Suzu keeps reminding her that like, hey, why can't you beat? Even though Suzu's never beaten Giulia either. It's kind of funny when you think about that. But besides the point, um, yeah, I just think Suzu would just beat uh, would just beat Maika. I can't see Maika over Suzu. So if Maika's going through, I think she should probably win. And if Suzu's going through, I think Suzu should probably win. So Suzu over
All right.
Mirai or Maika over Tam is where I'm at.
Okay. And my long shot dream is Mina over Tam. I
I
know
would
it's a
hate
long
that so
shot. I
much.
know
I would
it's an
hate that so much.
extremely I know it's an extremely like not realistic option, but I just can't shake the idea of Mariah May on her last show at Stardom
The Bison
getting to
Kimura
do
spot.
the Club Venus is here and introducing Mariah May for a GP win. I think that would be so amazing. So I
Well,
just want
Mina.
that to happen.
Introducing Mina.
Introducing
Yeah.
Mina. I want that to happen. So I'm holding on to that as a crutch because I
I did
need
mention
it.
that a couple weeks ago. That it's like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
they do the Jungle Jack spot. Where it's like
Yeah.
Bison's retiring, but Aja finally wins the big one on
Mm,
the day that she retires. Uh, I wouldn't like that. Because I don't
of
want to see
course.
Tam and Mina in
They
another
had a
main
good
event.
match. They had a great match actually. I don't
I
get it.
didn't like that
It's a
match.
great match. But you just like are
Well,
you just don't like Tam
wait, no, we
matches.
we
I don't
talked
know.
about it where it was like Mina just exhausted all of her moves in like 6 minutes, and then
Oh
Tam just
yeah.
beat the fuck
It
out of
was
her.
weird, but it was still kind of cool. They just like beat each other up. I don't know. What's wrong with people beating each other up?
Oh, good question. Assault, that's what's wrong with it, but
Okay.
it's a crime. Let's move on.
Okay. Anyway, that is the GP final.
That was
Looking forward to
so
it.
much like
It was a
mental
lot.
energy, and we
Dude,
still have another
like
limit.
we're gonna cut it obviously, but we took a break. we
Yeah,
we at a certain point were like we need to like calm down and retool here. And then I saw the Milwaukee Bucks trade for Damian Lillard, and my brain broke again as we restarted. So yeah, but
a
yeah,
lot of shit might pop off on this tournament final. Because
yes,
I'm looking at the cork and there's still nothing on this fucking card.
yeah. I think they usually do that though. They just kind of leave it
Yeah.
until late enough. And I think, as Sony said on the boards, there's a few people hurt, so they're probably waiting to
Mhm.
see who can go and who can't. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this GP final because it's usually one of the best shows of the year, and this year it's live with very much added unpredictability. Like,
Yeah.
anything could happen in some manner. Like there's 4 or 5 different finals that could realistically happen, so it's going to be very fun to watch go down. And then after that, we're going to have Stardom in Cork and Hall on October 1st because the world of Stardom never stops. And this will feature the Azumi 10th anniversary match as she takes on Mayu Iwatani.
The issue
So
with this match is that Azumi can't win
not at all. Mayu is going
on her
to
10th
obliterate her.
anniversary show, which is kind of a bit sad, but
Yeah. Back-to-back losses for Azumi this weekend, huh?
that sucks. This is also her
Yeah.
birthday.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Dude,
the 3rd is her birthday. Or
crazy.
wait, what's her? I thought her birthday was like the 3rd, but I think she said that. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, it's her birthday, October 1st, and then
Well,
she debuted on October like 6th. Yeah, that was it. So
she's taken that dragon suplex, maybe, or the moonsault. I don't know. Anyway,
the chibi killer. She's gonna
nah,
get big broed.
nah. Either way, great match.
Yeah,
We
that'd
end
be
the
really good.
GP, and they give us a cool ass singles match like that.
I do know they're gonna
Then,
go. They're gonna go pretty hard because I mean, obviously, it's an anniversary show for Azumi, and Mayu's just
yeah.
Mayu, so should be really good.
The other match then is a World of Stardom Championship Prelude. Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, Soriano, and Yuna Mizumori versus Natsuko Tora, Uraka, Arena, and Fukigen Death. That is an Uedo Tai D team. Like that is so many weak links. Yeah, they're gone. They're gonna
This
lose.
might just be a DQ and just chaos and whatnot, but
Could be, yeah.
it would definitely
Um,
make sense if Cosmic Angels won, because why wouldn't they?
yeah,
Especially if they're
and then
united post New Blood. If like Yuna's like actually like part of the team and it's like they're
that's true
trying
actually.
to be
Yeah,
a
I
united
mean,
force here.
it's most likely they win. Like this Uedo time team is full
Yeah,
of
no,
people
obviously.
losing. So,
Yuna to the Momentum Mori would be crazy. The O'Connor roll.
oh yeah. Um, the main event then is a strong women's championship match. It is Giulia defending against Ami Sourei, and Giulia is retaining because we all
Yes.
know the
Let's
end
hope
goal for
that
this reign.
Ami has a good performance here.
She might, she could.
Who's she wrestling at that strong show? Because I know she's not wrestling Vakir.
I think it's Hyan. She like
That should be.
retweeted the announcement or something, so I'm assuming it's her.
I haven't seen her in a couple years. Is she still good? Ion?
I think she's good, yeah.
Okay. Cause
I like
yeah, like
Hyan. I'm
I
surprised
thought
she
she
isn't
was really good
signed.
back in the day, but
Yeah, like, I was shocked she wasn't signed. Like she's like ready made for TV to me.
yeah, but
Um,
who's gonna sign her? Let's be real.
yeah, that's
Who
true.
looks at good wrestlers and good women's wrestlers and thinks, yeah, I can get behind her.
You know what? I'm a renewed NWA fan because their women's division is actually kind of solid. So let's go.
And
NWA
Tyrus is out,
power
so
for Hyan. Huh?
and Tyrus is out, so you
Yeah,
don't have to be
honestly, if
deeply
you just
depressed about
watch
it.
the women's match and not the 50-year-old dudes cutting bad promos, it is a fine show. NWA Power is decent. So if you just don't watch any of it, you know,
And so I feel
it's
about
fine.
Noah. If you watch the Lucha
That's
guys
fair.
and like Keno, great. It's a great company. Otherwise, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially with Katsuhiko out,
That is
terrible.
so like upsetting. Like
Oh yeah,
he's awesome. And he's probably going to America too, based on what he's saying.
yeah. I was really hoping he'd go to All Japan. I was making jokes because everybody was saying, "Oh, he's going to New Japan," and I was like, "I don't know." And this was like Xavier was reminding me that's like this guy's 5'8", 5'9", like 180 pounds. He looks fine in Noah, but like he's a small dude. New Japan's gonna put him in their junior division, bro. There's no
Yes.
way.
Well,
And I was like,
he's gonna hit Hiromu too hard once, and they're like, "Nah, dog, get back down the card."
I will say for a junior, and we're gonna get back to like the Joshi in 2 seconds, but for a junior wrestling fan, him getting the Grand Slam would be very cool because he won the World Junior, he won the GHC, he just has to win the IWGP.
Oh,
So
that would be
like
nice.
everybody would be upset about it because he's clearly uh quote unquote too good to be a junior, even though that's not a real thing because El Desperado is the best wrestler in the company. Even though he's too good to be a junior, him winning the IWGP belt would be a cool little accolade that not many people have with the Grand Slam.
All right.
But
Yeah,
that's our that's our Katsuhiko Nakajima talk.
of course, yes. But yeah, Julia, I assume it's Hyan at New Japan. She could also. They have like two trainees, I think. Trish Adora and Johnny Robbie. So it could be one of
Mm.
them. Trish Adora gets plugged into so many spots to lose that I'm just kind of like, I would rather not. You know, I've seen it. I've been there, done that. And I think Hyan is on their new trainee showcase, so maybe she will be against Julia. Either way, we'll have to wait and see because they don't seem to be announcing it anytime soon.
Yeah. And then the two appearances on that same day are Crush Gals and Wave. which the Crush Gal show, Hazuki and Shuri are in a trios match that looks fucking insane.
Yeah.
When I thought Hazuki might win the tournament, I was like, okay, how can she not get pinned in this match?
Mm.
That's the big question. And Xavier, like, so I was asking Scott and Xavier about it, and Xavier's like, why are you even like trying to entertain? She's not winning. I was like, yeah, but like if she does, how does she? He's like, stop, like,
Yeah.
you know she's not winning, and then she lost. So
Yeah.
Hazuki
She's
somehow
staring at
there,
these lights.
and then yeah, Iida and Kohaku are at the Korakuen for Wave, which also will see Veni and
It's not a
Hikaru Shida.
Korkin.
Yeah, it is.
A
It's Nami,
Korkin.
isn't it? Oh, that's
Yeah,
Shinjuku
that's
Face.
Shinjuku Face.
What do they call their fucking Korakuens?
Their Korkins don't have names like that. You must be thinking of a different show with Veni. I think that's the 10th, isn't it?
It might be the 10th.
No idea
Okay, yeah.
anymore.
Nami is in Shinjuku Face, and
Nami happens the 1st of every month. It's not like
yeah.
a major thing.
Let's see. I watch this company so much, and I still don't know what the fuck half this shit means. Like
That's
looking at the
fair.
names, it's really funny.
Either way, it's Kohaku Vanita is a cool match, and that's the only one likely to air because there's still no information on where this Crush Gal show is gonna pop up. I assume Samurai TV will have cameras around because it is the Crush Gals and it's the Crush Gals, but there's been no confirmation, so I don't know. So don't take my word for it.
Yeah. We'll see. Big week, big weekend here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they just don't have a name for the Korakuens. That makes sense. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That was just me talking out loud about the wave. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I hope everybody has fun.
Final answer. Final
Oh, no.
of the tournament. Like
God.
true final. We're gonna see who's right and who's wrong. If we're both wrong, we'll both cry about it. Final pick.
Oh man, Suzu Murai.
Suzu over Mirai.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've talked myself into Mike over Tam, and I feel like I can't. Like I could see it not happening, but I also can see it definitely happening if they really want to put Mike over. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
we'll
don't
see.
see it, but who knows? Yeah. We will be back next Wednesday, probably.
Oh, you know what? One more thing. One more thing is that if Micah does win, the third 5-star in a row that DDM winner wins.
Wow.
There hasn't been a non DDM winner of the 5-star since Hana. If
When
Micah
is?
wins here.
Oh wow, and that was probably the last one without a DDM member in the final. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Since then, it's been
Himeka in the
all.
final.
Yep, Himeka versus Utami.
That's crazy.
Or yeah, Utami, not Hana. It was Utami. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, she was the last winner, but yeah, the last GP without a DDM
Since
member in
DDM
the
has
final
existed, there has been a DDM member in the final.
That's their thing, man. That's what they do. Yeah.
And I mean, like, if Suzu's in the final, and it would be funny if it's Suzu and Mirai, who are two people who are like just technically not DDM, even though like they both like Mirai came in as DDM and God's Eye is basically DDM, and Suzu's kind of in DDM, but she's not because she's Suzu. I'd find that very funny.
What a world we live in.
Yeah,
we'll be
women
back.
of the world. Women rule the world.
Indeed.
True.
Yeah, we'll be back sometime next week. I know sometimes we do like an instant reaction to the GP, but that's usually when it's like insane, and I don't think anything's going to be insane this year. And if Mina does win, I'm not convincing Dylan to record early.
No.
So
I'm gonna be
chances
in the
are,
morning.
yes, chances are we'll be back at our usual time next week. We'll probably have a bit to talk about with Mariah May. I think we will just like send her off and maybe look back at her run with the company, and then we'll be able to get into GP stuff and probably the Corkin and New Blood, of course. So look forward to next week. There'll be a lot happening. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm exhausted by wrestling right now. Like I'm
yeah,
excited, but I'm fucking tired. I want to go play some Kingdom
you
Hearts.
don't know half of it.
I haven't been able to play Kingdom Hearts in like 4 days because I've been watching
Oh man,
JD Star and Stardom, and I've had to watch Uncle Nobu turn on my boys.
horrendous.
TMDK lost. My fucking Mason Mansoor got cut. I was distraught. It's been a
Wow.
long week. It's been a long week, y'all. But I'm happy I got to talk endlessly about the 5-star Grand Prix final. What a what a time to be alive, Alex. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, finale to the greatest round robin tournament in Joshi history.
Yeah.
And with that, it's
Sai
time to
Kamitani
close
was
the
there with
show.
me.
If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in. Joe.
Joe.